This is the Sassy Sheep podcast. I am Sarah. This is episode 1 of the new video podcast. Welcome to the dark side. Yes, I'm aware it's been a very long time. A bunch of crap's happened. You probably don't want to hear all the gritty details. But one of the things I've been trying to do since last time we spoke together is been playing with getting a video podcast together. I have Macs, which are wonderful, wonderful things. If you've not already converted over to Macs, you need to. They put PCs to shame. Anyway, we're going to see how this goes. This will probably going to end up with 2 parts because YouTube only lets you do 15 minutes at a time. This is actually the second attempt. The first episode was 20 minutes, and when I tried to upload it to YouTube, it rejected it. So if you saw me trying to do that, because I was also trying to build the show notes at the same time, that's what happened, was operator error. So anyways, let's get into actual knitting and fiber and stuff like that. It's been a very busy summer for us. Katie and I have been doing the Idaho Falls Farmers Market about every other week. It's been a lot of fun. We've gone to a couple different fiber fair shows. We were at the Snake River Fiber Fair, and not only did we vendor, but we also taught, and that was a lot of fun, a lot of hard work. For any of you who are teachers or trainers out there, you now have my complete admiration. I do not know how you do it day in, day out, because it flat out wiped me out. And also, I truly now understand you learn more when you teach than you probably teach to other people. But it was a ton of fun. I taught dyeing Sunday afternoon, and the girls I had were absolutely fabulous and fantastic to work with. Their motto became, "What happens in dye class stays in dye class," and they just took everything I taught them and ran. They came up with some amazing stuff. Really bright stuff I would never have thought of, but came out just gorgeous. There was not an ugly skein of yarn in the batch, and they had so much fun. We had this one lady, I think she was old enough to be my mother, maybe a few more years. She still loves tie-dye, and everything was tie-dye, and wow, she's who I want to be when I grow up. Anyways, if you're listening, you know who you are. After that, we went up to the the Big Sky Fiber Fair in Hamilton, Montana. It is held every odd year. Even years is the Montana's Association of Weavers and Spinners Guild at different locations across the state of Montana. But anyway, Big Sky Fiber Fair is the second or third weekend in June. It was a great time. Started off on a bad foot. Driving through the Bitterroot Valley, I hit a deer. I'm so sorry. I feel rotten. And then because I was so upset about that, I got a speeding ticket in the town of Darby. If you ever go to the town of Darby, watch out. It's a giant speed trap. Ask me how I know. So I was a little shaken up, upset, pissed off that I got a speeding ticket and hit a deer, and I was going to have to pay to get the truck repaired. But once we got to Big Sky and around all the fiber and yarn and fleeces, it just went away. You know, how everyone keeps saying yarn and fiber cures all evils. It is so true. Katie was really bad. Katie swore years ago she would never get into fleeces. She is such a liar. Liar! Her nose should be about yay long now, because she found a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous to die for, chocolate brown Paco Vicuña fleece. Paco Vicuñas are a strain of alpacas where they've started breeding them. Oh, sorry, not vicuñas. Alpacas that they're breeding to have more vicuña traits. They're trying to breed back to the natural wild traits. And a gal was there, and unfortunately I cannot remember the name of her farm. But Katie managed to score this just gorgeous Paco Vicuña fleece. It is a dream. You just want to bury yourself in it and happily die. Then they also have an excellent fleece judging show, and the gal, Denise Jackson, was the fiber judge, and she's an amazing lady. She's one of those ones, she does open judging, which is fairly rare, and she does a wonderful job. Well, has an excellent background, explains everything. Anyway, one of the, well, actually two of the fleeces. I'll get into the second one in just a second. The first fleece that Katie found was a supposedly merino lamb. It was a little big for lamb. We think it was probably a yearling, but it was the first fleece off of it. It had 4 to 6 inch staple length. I mean, you never see merino with staple length like this, and just this gorgeous, beautiful snow white color throughout. It was about 4.5 pounds. So that was the first fleece that Katie bought. Actually, sorry, I said incorrectly. Katie came back to me begging and crying about it. I ended up going up and buying it for her because she wants to do the Margaret Stove spinning from the lock. If you don't know about the technique yet, go check it out. Interweave has the spinning for lace download straight from their website by Margaret Stove, and she goes into great detail about this method that she pioneered and it's what she uses for all of her lace spinning. Then the next day, after they got done with the fleece judging, Katie was talking to Denise Jackson, who's a very evil neighbor, just to warn you. She could give Katie a stiff run for her money. She was showing Katie and gushing about this other merino fleece. It ended up picking the Grand Champion. It is a lovely honey, almost halfway between honey and oatmeal fleece. Absolutely gorgeous. There was no second cuts, no vegetable matter, I mean, the tips were really short. It was more the traditional 2 to 3 inch staple length for a merino. I think there was a little bit that was 4. And Katie ended up buying that one too. So Katie came home with not 1, not 2, but 3 fleeces from Big Sky. And then there, I also discovered a wonderful dyer. I know, it's amazing. Here I am, a dyer, own a dyeing business, and I still end up going gaga over other hand dyers. Anyways, Katie of Wool Gatherings. I discovered her hand dyeing. She does some amazing stuff. I didn't spend a lot of money on yarn there, but I did hit up her booth, and I regret not buying more. Is that bad? Normally you regret spending too much. I regret not snagging more for yarn. She also does some amazing fibers. Katie, even amongst all of her fleece grabbing, went over to her booth and grabbed some beautiful fibers, hand-dyed fibers. I think she got merino bamboo silk, merino yak, Polworth. There was another one. I forget what it is. I'll have to go ransack through her stash and find out what it is. All just beautifully dyed. Katie does an amazing job. None of her fibers are felted, even the untreated ones, which is really hard to do. If you do a lot of hand dyeing of fiber, it's very easy to felt it. Ask me how I know again. And that's why you don't see a lot of hand dyed fibers. It takes a delicate touch to dye it and dye it well. Katie succeeds well. She has an Etsy store. I will link to it in the show notes. I highly recommend go discovering her. Beautiful colors, beautiful fibers, well dyed. Anyway, since then, it's just been, because that was mid-June, it's just been farmers markets, and it's been a lot of fun, but it's crazy. One of the things about the farmers markets is you have to deal with some of the crazy people out there. It's the point more where the tamest question we get is, oh, can you spin dog hair? Katie and I take bets on what's the craziest questions that we're going to get. So far, the one that tops all is, we had a lady, she had saved her daughter's first haircut and wanted Katie to spin it. And Katie had a very hard time getting this gal to understand that even human hair, even baby's hair, is incredibly coarse. I mean, merino wool is about 20 microns. Human hair, even fine human hair, is around 40 to 50 microns. A lot of it's around 100 microns. So it gives you an idea of how fine most wool is. Anyway, Kay was trying to explain to her, that would be a horribly coarse yarn. You don't have enough. It would not make hardly anything at all. And the gal just wouldn't let it go. She said, oh no, it's very soft. I'm like, it don't matter. Do you know how fine wool is? So anyways, that's the most bizarre one I've gotten to date. But Katie gets lots of kids that want to climb over the spinning wheel. The guys, of course, go gaga over the woodworking on her wheels. And of course it's a gear. So, and Katie, where she's in engineering school, can explain how a spinning wheel works in guy terms, and they just love it. She ends up drawing a lot of tourists in, and so she has to put up with her pictures being taken a lot by everyone. And so far, she deals with it with a great deal of grace. I don't know how she does it. I couldn't do it, but she does well. I just sit in the back and happily take everyone's cash and credit cards and talk with the people that actually are interested in buying stuff. So it saves my sanity. After that, we will be in Trailing the Sheep in Haley, Idaho. If you have never gone to this festival, it's not just a fiber fair. It is 5 days of celebrating bringing the sheep herds down from the mountain pastures. They actually Sunday, during the afternoon, drive the sheep herds down Main Street of Haley, Idaho, which is just outside of Sun Valley. So this isn't just some little itty-bitty town in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we're talking really a lot of people and snobs, but there's also a lot of really nice people there. There's sheepdog trials, the Basque, the Polish, the Chilean people come and dress in their native costumes and dance and sing to their native songs. So it's very beautiful and a very good ethnic folk fair. Of course, if you enjoy eating lamb, they have just about every imaginable lamb dish under the sun. Most of them prepared by world-renowned chefs, so you know they're done well. And it's usually just a gorgeous day. The mountains around the valley turn their colors. The willows are red, the aspens are gold. Usually the weather's good. It's a little chilly, so if you do come, bring a mountain parka and dress in layers. But it's usually well worth your time. And if you're anywhere between half day's drive, I'd say go for it. It's a lot of fun and well worth your time. But we'll be there vendors. That's pretty much going to be one of our last events for the year. The only other thing we're going to be doing after Trailing the Sheep is our open house is November 5th. Katie and I will be teaching classes this year. I'll be teaching dyeing. Katie will be teaching color spinning and alternative fibers. One class in the morning, one in the afternoon. All the details are up on our Ravelry group and also on our blog on our website. And also, Andrew will be doing spinning wheel tune-ups. You have to make appointments for those because those can take anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. If you will email us at sassy@sassysheep.com to sign up for classes or spinning wheel tune-up, we will then send you a PayPal invoice to pay. Unfortunately, I am not tech savvy smart enough to figure out the coding to put the PayPal buttons right on the website. I wish I was. That is one of the things I need to learn amongst other things. But anyways, that's our open house. Right, I think this wraps up part one. We're a little under, but I don't want to go over and end up screwing up this whole entire file. So I'll see you again shortly in part two.